Okay, great. So this evening, I'd like to welcome everybody who is here today. Today, we're going to be having Leaders Educate. My name is Adiolu Akemi, and I'm the host for today. We have the speaker for today is Mr. Kunle Ogunwomoju. Mr. Kunle Ogunwomoju is a poultry farmer. He's a technical director and co-founder of Farm Support. Mr. Kunle Ogunwomoju is passionate about the poultry business. He has been in industry for 32 years. He studied animal production in Unijos, did his master's immediately in agricultural biochemistry in UI, and started out in his poultry career in 1988. He spent 11 years rising through the ranks and working in a number of companies to become general manager for one of the biggest farms in Nigeria then, until he suddenly plunged into being unemployed. From there, in a bid to feed his family, he plunged into an entrepreneurial venture armed with technical capabilities, no savings, and a business partner with a similar interest in the poultry business. They have together built one of the top 5 biggest poultry businesses in Nigeria today. Farm Support has varied interest in the value chain of the poultry industry and provides mentorship and coaching for over 7 other major poultry businesses in Nigeria, some doing over $500 million annual turnover. Mr. Kunle Ogunwomoju is a very simple and down-to-earth person. You regularly find him up and in the office early in his shirts and shorts. He's a quiet supporter of many causes, a leader in his local assembly, and if there was a grandmaster in the game of drafts, he'll be one. He's happily married to Tayo Ogunwomoju, and they are blessed with 3 boys. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome on the platform today to enlighten us on the topic of Leaders Educate. And I think it's going to be an interesting meeting today. He's not the person who will normally speak, but we are pushing him out to ensure that he's speaking to us because we need to learn. He has a passion for that poultry business, and that passion reaches out into other businesses as well. He's one of my mentors. I learn a lot from him. So please today, if you are here today and you can hear me loud and clear, just put in the chat box here, welcome. Just do a rousing welcome, put an emoticon out there, and get your paper, get your materials, and be ready to write. Somebody is asking about Grandmaster. I need to awake my dad from the grave. Yes, so if you want to play drafts, you first of all play with me. If I cannot trust you, then we'll promote you. If I can trust you, don't need to go further. Don't need to go further. So, ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Mr. Kunle Ogunwomoju. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, Deolu, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. And it's a privilege to be able to speak with you today. Together, we'll be learning a few things today. Like Deolu said, well, take your papers and your biros and write. But more than writing, I want you to please listen to me. We will not be talking. I want to talk to you from my heart, really. I want to talk to you from my heart. I'm not using prepared slides so that I'll be able to really talk to you, so that we can share ideas together today. From this leadership series, we have been talking about different E's of leadership. The different E's of leadership. We've gone through leaders. Let me also look at my notes. Leaders envision, leaders enlist, leaders engage, leaders embody, leaders empower, leaders enable, leaders equip. And today we'll be talking about leaders educate. Leaders educate. And I do hope that we are actually learning a lot from this series. I do hope that we're actually learning a lot from this series, because what are we talking about today? We're just talking about leaders educate. And I want to thank CM, I call him CM. I want to thank CM for putting together the crop of leaders that have come to talk to us. And what have they come to do since we started? They have come to educate us. So my job today is very simple. I hope you understand the point that I'm trying to drive out today. That it's not so much until we sit down and begin to take our notes and all that we are. In fact, leaders educate means that we have been educating, we have been educated all over since the beginning of this series. And what is education, by the way, if I can go by the way of definition? What is education? Education, according to the dictionary, is to train, to teach, to instruct, to inform, with the aim of developing the faculties of a person and to equip the person to be able to do things in a better way or to live better. Let me take that again. Education, according to the dictionary, you can find so many definitions of it, but this is the definition I choose to work with today. Is to train, to teach, to instruct, to inform, with the aim of developing the faculties of a person so as to equip the person to be able to do things in a better way or to live better. And like I said, I want to appreciate the CM because we have been taught so many things over the course of these past few weeks. So I'm going to be building on what has been taught us over these past few weeks. Indeed, that is what leaders do. Leaders envision, leaders engage, leaders enlist, and one of the things also is leaders educate. And that is what leaders do. And how do leaders do these things? How do leaders do these things? We come to the C's of leadership. There are so many C's of leadership. Leaders have competence, leaders have courage, leaders have character, they have capacity, they have compassion, they have consistency, they have character, they have charisma. There's so many C's. If you go through the different books and articles written about leadership, you see so many C's. I was asking one of my colleagues in the office today, how many C's does he know? Because we went through a series about 2 years ago, we were talking about the 7 C's. So when he mentioned his own 7, I found that I still had another 5 or 6. So you find a lot of C's. And so leaders do. This is what they do. That's talking about the E's. How they do it is by the C's. But today, I want us to focus on the critical question of why. Why? Why, like when we had the series on success ingredients, the critical question for me is, why do you want to be successful? The same thing today I'm asking you, why do you want to be a leader? Because the why is at the heart of the matter. The why is at the heart of the matter. Like success, like leadership, an honest answer to this question will determine how far you will go in the quest. Why do you want to be a leader? Is it so that you can show people that, okay, you are also a leader? Is it so that you can show off that I am also a leader? Is it to be recognized as a leader? Is it because of the perks that come with leadership? Because according to the Holy Book, it says, if you do not have the genuine reason, the genuine intention for becoming a leader, you might not become one. James chapter 4 verse 3 says, they do not receive because they ask amiss. And why is it amiss? Because they want to consume it upon their lust. Because of consumption upon their loss? Is it because so that people can recognize that you are a leader, that you want to be a leader? Because the honest answer to this question will determine how far you go. The reason why some of us will never become leaders is because of the why. And the reason why we become leaders is because of the why. Because as Simon Sinek says, people do not buy what you do or how you do it, but why you do it. They do not buy what you do. That means they do not really link up with what you do or how you do it, but the reason why we're doing it. At this juncture, I'd like us to watch this video for just about 5 to 6 minutes. Simon Sinek is actually one of the many people that I admire when he talks about leadership. So can we have this video for just 5 or 6 minutes, then we will continue the discussion.
Okay.